Um, so before I sell the Univalve, I thought I'd do a little update to my Attenuator video. A lot of people always ask, how do I get a good tone at a bedroom level? And they see all these things on eBay that say, well, if you put this in front of your amp, basically between your guitar and your input, it allows you to modulate the volume or to lower the volume. But the issue is that anything that you put in front of your amp is going to function exactly like the volume knob on your guitar. So, for example, now the knob on the gain input on the amp is only not even at 12 o'clock, but that's still fairly loud. And I definitely can't play much louder than this at night, and only a little bit louder than that during the day. Now, if we roll back the guitar volume to about 2 or 3, that has the effect of lowering the volume, but as you notice, as the volume gets quieter, as the guitar knob goes down, what you also lose is any sort of distortion, because you're simply not pushing the amp as hard. And so any of the $20, $30 little foot switches that you see on eBay or online, for example, the Electro-Harmonix soft signal pad attenuator, or I mean, I know that Voodoo Labs also, Voodoo Pedals also sells a little soft, they call it a pedal attenuator or a soft volume modulator. Those are exactly the same thing as the volume knob on your guitar. The only thing that they're going to do is lower or raise the volume, but they're not going to drive the amp any harder as you lower the volume. So basically, you change your tone as you go quieter. So if you want a distorted tone, you're not going to get that with any of those foot switches. Now the Univalve has a built-in attenuator, so if I can turn that on, I can show you what happens when you have an actual attenuator that works in the back of the amp, which means that it plugs in between the last output stage of the power amp and the speaker output. It changes the signal before it gets to the speaker, and it makes it quieter while you're pushing the power amp just as hard. Roll down the guitar volume. Roll that back up. And you can see the difference from here, which is where the attenuator is completely off, to over here. So you can hear the distortion going into the speakers. But this makes it quieter while you retain that distortion. that's only about as loud as background music, where this is, where that would be hard to talk over. Now, if I roll back my guitar volume, it's quieter, but you have no distortion. Whereas if I use the attenuator, it's quieter, but there is distortion. Now, I can even, if I have the attenuator, this is probably doing about 3 to 4 decibels of attenuation. I can even turn up the volume all the way. Now the volume is max now. Again, you can hear the difference between that and the volume knob on the guitar. And there you have it. So basically, if you're going to want to retain any sort of distortion at bedroom levels, you're going to need to have something that goes in between the speaker and the power stage output. If you just want to clean up the tone or lower the volume, then you can use something that's in front of the guitar, in front of the amp. But those, being that they do the same exact thing as the volume switch, volume knob on your guitar, I feel like there's very little reason to blow your money on something like that. But keep in mind that real attenuators are built to handle a lot of power. They're built to handle a lot of wattage. So $20 or $30 is not going to get you anything that's going to provide distorted tone at a bedroom level.